Hey doc, what should I do? I have a huge ego when it comes to my hair. Everyone asks me, why is your hair so amazing? Why do you have such a sick beard? How did you grow your hair back? Like, your hair looks amazing. It's so full and thick. You have to tell us your secret. What shampoo do you use? What conditioner do you use? What hairspray do you use? What beard oil do you use? What thing did you implement and execute to get your hair back? You used to be balding, and now you have this celebrity actor looking hair. Did you get a hair transplant? Did you use minoxidil, which is Rogaine? Did you use Finasteride, which is Propecia? Did you do some sort of stem cell therapy? You took some herbs? Like, what did you do? This is what people have been asking me. And doc, I'm sick and tired of it. My ego is so attached to these compliments. Every day, every week, I get Facebook comments, text messages, YouTube comments, Instagram DMs, emails. Even my dad told me, hey, how did you grow all that hair so fast? And is that a wig? Or did you get a hair transplant? What is that? And then my brother, like, Dad, are you fucking stupid? That's natural. All of these things are happening in my life. My family thinks I have a hair transplant. People think that I did some secret magic voodoo shit and I got my hair back. Doc, I want you to help me because my ego is too attached to the hair right now. And my entire confidence and validation comes from my hair. It's not through my education or through what kind of a good person I am and my big heart. It's not how many people I've helped. No, it's because of my hair. Every third comment or every third question that I get asked is about my hair and beard. Doc, what the fuck should I do? This is what I want you to do, Farhan. Shave it all off. The whole thing. Today, I want you to shave everything off. Your beard, you already shaved off a few months ago. Great step. That was a great step to kill your ego. Now I want you to take the 10x step, the bigger step, which is like no guy in the world would ever do. Shave your head, all of it. Get rid of it. Start over. And test yourself to see if your confidence shatters or not. Test yourself to see if your manliness and your masculinity and your overall well-being and groundedness and awareness and self-worth and self-esteem is shattered or destroyed because your hair is no more. I want you to go and get your head shaved today. Go do it. Go do it, Farhan. All right, doc, I'll do it. That's the conversation that I had with myself last year. The day before I went to Colombia, Medellin, I had booked my ticket. I was very, very depressed. I was in Brooklyn at the time. And a lot of you who were following me last year when I was in Colombia and the YouTube channel got erased, I had to come back to Montreal to sort out some stuff. Then I went back. And I'll tell you, go watch those videos, or in a future truth, I might tell you exactly how I got my YouTube channel back, which is like super epic stuff. I was so depressed at that time because I had attached my self-worth to my hair. I know it's weird to say or even think about this, that, Doc, that really happened to you, Farhan? So as Farhan, I asked Doc Testosterone this. Like, I asked my own alter ego, like Clark Kent to Superman type thing. I was like, hey, Doc, what the hell should I do? And Doc told me to shave my hair. And the day before I left for Medellin, Colombia, I went to Brooklyn. It was in Long Island City. There was a Greek barbershop guy. I went in there and I shaved my head. I still remember exactly. I went in there. This was like 2 p.m. I walk in, some Greek dude, and I'm like, hey, man, I want to shave my head off. How much is it going to cost? He's like, $15. I'm like, all right, cool. That's cheap. Let's do it. I put out my camera right in front of him because I was going to record the whole thing because I was at the time recording everything. And he's like, no. We don't do recording. I'm like, I'll give you an extra $20. And he shut the fuck up and let me record. And then my previous intern somehow deleted the footage or erased it. I don't know what the hell happened to it. I'm still looking for it till this day. I don't have that footage. But, of course, you have the photos that I took right after I shaved my head off. And those are on YouTube, and I'm going to show them here to you, too, so you have them. I shaved my head off. And deep down inside, I know it was a good move. It was like a Stoic philosophy move. In Stoic philosophy, there's this notion that what you think matters actually doesn't, because nothing matters. So if you think you looking bald matters, it doesn't. If you think if you go on a 10-day fast and you're going to starve, you're not. If you think that you can't have a beard and like be unshaven for, 5 months, 6 months, and just looks like a caveman, and people are going to make fun of you, they're not. Like, it's going to be fine. You're going to get used to it. So inside, I was like a Stoic philosopher. I was like a Stoic person. But outside, I looked really old. And I looked really bald beta guy. Anyway, I went to Medellin, and guess what? My confidence shattered. I was super depressed even there. Because I'm used to having my hair be one of the things that girls compliment me on. And a lot of girls have fucked me because of my amazing hair. Whatever it is, I don't know what it is. It's a very weird, interesting style. Like, I don't give a fuck, but it's also like very full and very like masculine look. But in Medellin, when I was there for 2 months, allí practiqué mucho español y aprendí español en Medellín. Para todos que hablan español, en mis followers en Instagram y YouTube y los ciertos de testosterone, the testosterone truths, los ciertos de testosterone aquí, bienvenido y quiero practicar español contigo. Anyway, I just wanted to practice some Spanish here. Next time I might do French or Urdu or something. मुझे उर्दू भी बोलना होता है तुम लोग के साथ, क्योंकि बहुत सारे जो लोग मुझे यहाँ पे फॉलो करते हैं और बहुत सारे लोग जो हमें ईमेल भेजते हैं और डीएम्स भेजते हैं और हमें कमेंट्स भेजते हैं, वो काफ़ी लोग उर्दू बोलते हैं, काफ़ी लोग हिंदी बोलते हैं, काफ़ी लोग पाकिस्तान इंडिया से. तो आप लोग भाइयों को बहनों को मेरा खुशामदीद, और थोड़ा बहुत मैं उर्दू हिंदी बोलता रहूँगा वीडियोस में क्योंकि मज़ा आता है, थोड़ा अच्छा है. So that was a little break for Spanish and Urdu. For those of you motherfuckers who can't speak either language, too bad. I'm not going to translate. But in today's video, I want to talk about hair. Hair health. What the fuck did I do with my hair? Why does my hair look so good when back in the day I was balding? What happened with my beard? I used to have a thick, dark beard, like a big fucking one, like ISIS. And now I have like a clean looking beard and it's a little gray here and there. What happened? What is all this stuff? You confused. Is it an herb? Is it my diet? Is it exercise? Is it blood flow to the skull? Is it a hair transplant? Is it a wig? Is it nothing? Like, what is it? That's what this video is about, so get excited. It's gonna be maybe my favorite video of all of these because there's so much emotions and confidence issues involved, and confidence is where we're at. how hair relates to testosterone, how beard growth relates to testosterone. What happens if you masturbate too much? Are you going to lose your hair? All of these things I want to address in this video, and a lot more interesting stuff, like exactly what products I use for my hair, what natural things do I use, what do you not want in your hair products, for example. All of that will be in this video. Now, back to my confidence being shattered. So now I'm there in Colombia, and like, I'm pretty good at cold approach, right? Like, I talk to girls all the time. I'm very confident. You know, I go to clubs, I go out, I approach people all the time in the streets. And there, I didn't feel hot. I didn't feel beautiful and cute and like masculine and like badass fucking guy. And I realized during those 2 months that hair is very important. Hair for a man is so important to confidence. So all this bullshit I was telling you before about, hey, confidence should be inner, it doesn't have to do with your hair and beard. I wanted to experience what happens if I shave everything off. And now I know exactly how you feel. Now, you might be a guy who has perfect hair, and I'm not talking to you, but if you're a guy who's like balding, or you're scared of being bald, or you can't grow a beard, yo, I feel you. I know, like, I get it. Society has programmed us, including me, to like be proud of our hair and like really fight for it. I'm gonna tell you certain stories of clients that risked having erectile dysfunction just so they can grow their hair back. Like, they would rather have hair than be able to fuck well, which is like completely against my philosophy of life. Being able to fuck well is everything. That's more important than like everything, to me, personally. But anyway, that's what we're gonna get into in this video. And I wanna address the points one by one, so let's get started with the first truth. Truth number one. I have done nothing special to my hair. However, I have done 100 things that are all natural and include a holistic approach to hair health. The reason people's hair gets lost or gets damaged or the skin gets damaged, because remember, hair and skin are very related. So if you look at me, you'll see not a single wrinkle on my face, and I'm 36 years old. That's rare. The girlfriends that I've had, and especially my current girlfriend, she's always jealous that I have no wrinkles on my face, and I'm 36. I don't use any, skincare products until very recently that I started experimenting with them. And the only reason I'm experimenting with them is because I want to have this type of skin forever. I want to have longevity and sustenance. And I want to have longevity, and I want to sustain how amazing my skin looks. But whatever I'm doing to my hair and my skin is all natural stuff. That's the truth that you're probably not going to be able to handle. It's not an herb. No. It is not a hair transplant or some chemical that I use like Propecia or Rogaine or it's nothing. It's diet, so the food I eat, so the healthy food, the nutrition, huge part of hair health. Exercise. There's a lot of blood flow that goes to my skull in the exercises that I do. Sleep, huge. I sleep very, very well, like a baby. And this is the most important one. I stopped taking stress on myself. And the key to reducing stress for me was self-awareness. When I was in Colombia and super depressed and just lowest of the low, I decided something. I decided that I'm going to spend the rest of my life doing stuff that I love, like shooting videos like this, exercising, providing content, reading science, not doing business stuff or marketing stuff or sales stuff or no. So when I was in Colombia, I hired a team to do all of this shit for me. I decided that I'm gonna go full-time in research, reading about science, making content about what I know, reading a bunch of books, and understanding my life through experiencing it. That's what I realized. And of course, living in different cities like Toronto and Brooklyn and Manhattan and now Stockholm. And in a few weeks, Melanie and I are going to go to a new city, a new country, and we'll keep you updated. It'll be a nice surprise for you, and you're going to get to see beautiful scenery there too. We're going to be very close to the beach, if you know what I mean. So it's everything, man. That's the truth. You know what? Like, I'm a scientist. So all throughout my PhD, I was taught about controlling the factors in every experiment. So in this experiment of hair health, yes, I was balding before. Yeah, true. If you see my videos of masturbation, my masturbation videos where I talked about the 7-day no masturbation of linked to testosterone, the Chinese study, when I talked about that, my hair is completely balding. And now it's full. So I can't tell you one thing. I just can't. And that's the truth. I can't tell you I did this one thing. I can't give you a magic pill. I'm sorry. You basically have to do everything I did. And even then, you might not be able to get your hair back. Now, you might be asking, Doc, is it because you stopped watching porn and stopped masturbating so much and got a girlfriend and got other girlfriends and now a permanent girlfriend here and more stuff later, who knows? By the way, I'm really liking her. Like, I really like Melanie. I mean, I adore her. Like, I'm in love with this girl, like crazy. Every time I look at her, it's like, holy shit, she's real. This angel is my girlfriend. Oh, fuck, man. And yo, she loves my hair. And the way she says hair, but I love your hair. Oh my fucking God. Gives me chills, man. I wish you could hear my heartbeat right now. Anyway, not to go off on a tangent. That's the truth. That's the first truth I want to cover. There's no magic pill. I just did like 100 good things and my hair came back. You got to do everything I do. I'm sorry. Let's go on to the next truth now. Truth number 2. Can a bald guy get laid? Can a bald guy be alpha? Can a bald person be confident enough to fuck hot girls, whereas a guy with a lot of hair be beta, not fuck anyone and be a virgin for life, die a virgin, and not have any confidence even though he has so much hair? Yes, that's the truth. Now let me tell you about 2 students that I had in Vegas immersion. Now a lot of you who are watching this don't really know all of my background, so when I was in Vegas, I worked and was the head coach of a pickup company known as Real Social Dynamics, RSD. So in Vegas, I would teach guys how to pick up women. We would go to clubs and bars, and I had students that were, following me around, seeing how I talk to girls, how I engage girls, how I take them home. For those of you who know my story, I didn't fuck any of those girls because I had limp dick at the time. But anyway, that was already covered before. But there were 2 students that I had in my group. Let's call, I don't want to reveal their real names, but the one with hair, we'll call him Harry. And the bald guy, we'll call him Bald, or Bald Guy. Easy. So Harry had quit everything in his life and moved to Vegas. He literally packed his bags, sold his business, which was a very successful online business. He sold it. He moved to Vegas and was an immersion student. He was in the first batch of immersion students with me. And I became his coach later. After I did the internships, was an assistant for a while, then I became the head coach. Now, with Harry, Harry had a lot of hair. Amazing hair, like better than mine. Like fucking buttload of hair, too much hair. And Harry had very low confidence. He was a virgin. He had a very big ego. He would not take action. You know how there's this thing that showing up is half the game, or half of what you need to do is to show up? Bullshit. Showing up is just showing up. Half of it is doing your best, and the other half is luck. Okay, so like showing up means nothing. Bullshit. You can show up to a club, but this guy was showing up every night. He wasn't approaching any girls. He wasn't getting out of his comfort zone. He wasn't doing what I was telling him to do, but he had a full head of hair. Then there was another guy who wasn't a prick like this guy. And by the way, this guy was such a prick, the Harry, that sometimes he wouldn't pay his fucking rent, and I had to go do bad cop, good cop with him with one of the other assistants, Kenny, and we would like threaten to throw his ass out if he didn't pay rent. He was a prick. Now the other guy was bald. The bald guy was super nice. He was short, he was kind of chubby, skinny fat type. Also very low in confidence. He was bald, but the hairy guy was bald too, and he had no confidence. This guy also had no confidence. But he had humility. He had gratitude. Very, very, very deeply, deeply grateful for everything we did. So one time he came up to me, he's like, Farhan, look man, I think that my confidence is not there because I am bald. What should I do? Harry never asked me. Harry was just a prick. He wanted everything to be handed to him. But bald came up to me and said, hey, help me out. So I sat him down and I told him something very simple. I'm like, look, bro, you know Brandon Carter? He said, yes, he knows him. You know Jeff Bezos? Yes, he knows him. You know Vin Diesel? Yes, he knows him. You think they're alpha? Yes. So they're bald and they're confident and they're fucking hot girls. Or they can if they wanted. Easily, like thousands of them. Isn't that right? He's like, yeah. Like, you're bald. It's not about confidence. Look, I'm telling you the truth. What if you gave yourself a chance and the girls that like bald men, which there are tons, will fuck you? Just trust me one time. And this guy was the same guy who was masturbating before he went to the club every night, just to like let go of his stress because he was so stressed out. So he was masturbating and then go to the club and lose his sex drive. It's horrible. But so you would watch porn in the taxi as we were going to the club, masturbate, come, like he carried like a little napkin thing. He came inside and then he went inside the club right before. Like weird fucking people at immersion, I swear. So this bald guy was 40 years old. He was 40-year-old virgin, the real one. And during immersion, around the third or fourth month, he lost his virginity. And I wasn't there at the time when he got laid, but he told me the story. I was actually there in the morning when he had a big smile on his face, and that's when I asked him what happened. So apparently the night before, they had gone to Marquee nightclub. It's a nice nightclub. It's a Monday thing, so we'd gone Monday night. I went too, but I did not stay with him the whole night. And he was with one of my assistant coaches. And they apparently went to some girl's hotel room, like on the penthouse of the Wynn or Encore, some hotel there. And, you know, there was people got tipsy, and, you know, this girl was not like the best looking girl. She wasn't like some hot chick, but he liked her. You know, he was like into her. Anyway, on the taxi ride to her hotel from the club, he got a blowjob from this girl in the cab. And that was his first blowjob in his entire life. So proud, so proud. And then when they went to the hotel room, he tells me this, obviously I didn't see him fuck, but when they went to the hotel room, he fucked this girl in her room. And he came in like 30 seconds or something. It was a bad fucking, but he fucked this girl. And he lost his virginity to this, you know, older lady. You know, she was above 40, so he was older than him. But he loved her. He really liked her, and he was super happy. And the morning when he came back to, you know, where we used to live at the Meridian, these are condos right in front of Tuscany Casino, if you know Vegas at all. When he was coming back home in the cab, you know, back to the condos, I was doing something in the morning at the time. This was like 6, 7 a.m. And I saw him coming in. And I always stop, you know, it's one of my students. I love seeing my students in the morning because maybe they got laid. So he comes up to me and he had this huge smile on his face. Farhan, I got laid, man. Hey, Farhan, I got laid. It's like, fuck, man, what happened? So he told me this story. And it's so, now as I'm telling you this story, I'm so happy that I did immersion. I'm so happy that I was in Vegas that 1 year. I learned so much about myself. I learned so much about girls, so much about women. You know, we had women cheat on their husband. You know, these women had kids and stuff, and they would show me like photos of their kids on the cell phone and still want to fuck me because they were drunk. Like, these are like hot Polish, German, French girls, like, you know, different races, and really hot girls who would just want to fuck. I mean, I went through a lot. I'll get to that in a future video if you want. You know, post your comments in the feedback form down below, or you can email me, or you can fill in the webinar form, and I'll talk about all this stuff in the webinar. But I have a lot to say about immersion. If you're really interested in those stories, I'll be happy to tell you, because there's tons. So the truth takeaway is confidence is not about hair. Now, I'll tell you my honest answer. If I was bald, I would lose my confidence. But it doesn't have to be that way. And the other thing is, I know how to grow my hair back because I am very disciplined in how I live my life. Like, dude, I have no stress in my life. I've made my life to have zero stress. Like, I'm super happy. I take people's stresses away, actually. And I don't give a fuck about anything, like what my parents think, what my uncle thinks, what my brother thinks, what my friends think. I don't give a fuck. I'm just doing my shit like this. Like, I don't even care what the fuck you think. I'm just doing this, right? This is my life. I love it, so I'm gonna do it forever. And I do it without expecting anything in return. That's what's cool. That's why I hired a team. They take care of all that marketing, businessy stuff, and I'm just providing content. That's it. And I love this. So, the other guy, Harry, he had bought every single RSD product since before RSD even started. So he had spent probably like $30,000 on products. And he didn't get laid for the whole year. He didn't even pull a girl from the club somewhere. So not only did he lack confidence, but he lacked humility. You gotta have at least one of those. But that's the truth I wanted to reveal to you. Now let's go on to the next truth. Now, before I get into truth number 3 for today, I just want to tell you a little bit about evolutionary psychology, what has been kind of proposed in science. Back in the day, when in the caveman days, you know, this is again speculation, this is not like some hardcore proven thing. If there was a bald guy, women in the tribe really wanted to fuck this guy. And today you'll notice that a lot of women like bald guys. Now, why is that? What is the evolutionary biological trigger? It's this. Back in the day, it's proposed that men didn't live that long because our life was dangerous. You'd get eaten by an animal, or you get killed by another tribe, or you die of disease, or get hit by a fucking rock. I don't know. Something bad will happen and you die. So those men who were bald meant that they lived long enough and survived long enough to actually lose their hair. And that's super sexy because that means they're so strong and they're so able to survive that they could take care of families, and the girls would be super attracted to him. And that is the theory of why bald men are liked by women today. So if you're bald or you're losing your hair, just go with it. Like, go with a sick look and just become healthy looking, you know, at least get great skin. And I'm gonna get into my regimen and exactly what I do for my skin and hair very soon. But you can work out other parts of your life that you can control. Because, dude, hair health, beard health, a lot of it's genetic. Like, if I'm genetically predisposed to having great hair and beard, and I fucked up in my life by having a bad diet, bad exercise, bad sleep, and stress, and then I reversed all that, then my genetics, me being predisposed to having good hair and beard, now takes over because that programming is in my body. It's in my DNA. So then I get it. A lot of people, like, look at a guy like Tim Ferriss. Tim Ferriss used to wrestle in high school. He was a wrestler, so he was very athletic, but he had very low testosterone. But then when he figured out his selenium deficiency, and he got his selenium checked, then he started eating Brazil nuts, started supplementing with selenium, he had crazy testosterone. His testosterone is higher than mine. And I'm in the top 2% of testosterone in men. This guy's in like the top 0.5%. He's way up there. So he was predisposed to having high testosterone. He just fucked up on his selenium levels because of his lifestyle choices or whatever he was exposed to in terms of toxins. So he didn't have selenium in his body. So he fixed that, and his pure natural genetics took over, and now he's crazy testosterone. This guy's crazy nuts, alpha male. So the truth is this: high testosterone has nothing to do with hair. Neither does low testosterone having to do with lack of hair. So you could be bald and have low testosterone. You could be bald and have high testosterone. You can have a lot of hair and high testosterone, or you can have a lot of hair like the guy Harry and low testosterone. It's not a correlated thing at all. Now, what is true is this: a lot of men who are bald lose their hair because of testosterone. Why? Okay, so now let's get to a little bit of science. The reason the scalp hair follicles, hair cells, get deteriorated, again, there's like different phases of the hair cycle of a hair follicle. There's the anagen phase, the telogen phase, the catagen phase, different phases. Some phases the hair is being built, it's being created. Some phases it rests, doesn't do anything. Some phases it becomes destroyed and deteriorated. And different phases take different months. Sometimes they take years. And so a person who, let's say, starts injecting himself with testosterone, extra testosterone, exogenous testosterone from the outside, exogenous, that could lead to baldness. Why? Because testosterone gets converted to DHT, dihydrotestosterone. It's just a derivative of testosterone. And it is 10 times more potent, 10 times stronger than testosterone in terms of how well it binds to the androgen receptor. So the way testosterone works is it binds to a receptor inside the cell. Okay? Testosterone is synthesized inside the cell also, inside the Leydig cell of the testes. When testosterone binds to this receptor, there is an affinity. There's how much the receptor likes, how well it can bind to testosterone. This receptor is known as the androgen receptor. But DHT, this derivative of testosterone, can bind to this androgen receptor 10 times stronger. The affinity, how much the receptor likes dihydrotestosterone, is 10 times stronger than testosterone. So DHT is a very powerful fucking molecule. And the conversion of testosterone to dihydrotestosterone, or conversion of T to DHT, is one of the reasons men become bald. Okay? And the chemicals out there, like Propecia or Finasteride or Durasteride. Durasteride is now banned, but Finasteride is still there. It's known as Propecia. That Finasteride, what does it do? It stops the conversion from testosterone to DHT. That's all. So when they take Finasteride pills, Propecia pills, or you can also put it on your hair, but usually it's in pill format. What that does is the enzyme that converts testosterone to dihydrotestosterone, that enzyme they inhibit through Propecia or Finasteride. That's it. And there's two types of enzymes. There's 5-alpha reductase, so 5-alpha-2 reductase or 5-alpha-1 reductase. They're both converting testosterone to DHT, but 5-alpha-2 is the more important one. It is what is converting it at a greater rate than 5-alpha-1. 5-alpha-1 doesn't even really matter. No one really gives a shit about it. But 5-alpha-2 is what we care about. That is the main converter of testosterone to dihydrotestosterone. And Finasteride inhibits that enzyme. So there is no conversion. The conversion stops. So if you stop having DHT production in the scalp, then you may not lose your hair, or hair might become reversed and start growing back. So a lot of people take Finasteride or Propecia. Now, there's this theory that Finasteride causes erectile dysfunction and sexual dysfunction. You can't get boners, there's a bunch of sexual well-being, sexual satisfaction, libido issues. Here's the truth. the cases for this are rare. Very rare. Not many cases. And the cases that have been reported are not really conclusive. The proper controls haven't been done. It's just like anecdotal evidence. I personally don't believe that the evidence for erectile dysfunction is high enough to say that, oh my God, Propecia and Finasteride are going to cause erectile dysfunction. Now, what is actually happening on YouTube and Instagram and other social media platforms is gurus are telling you to not take Finasteride because they have some magic pill hair product that they want you to buy. So if they tell you not to take Finasteride and scare you because they say you're going to get sexual dysfunction, then you might take their hair product or their hair pill or whatever the fuck they have, their hair shampoo. So from my research and my reading and my watching a lot of videos of physicians who actually do hair transplants and do hair product research in the lab, very high level people like Harvard, Stanford, Oxford people. What I found out from them is that Finasteride is not as terrible as it's made out to be. Now, I would never take it because I just don't want to take the risk. Now let's go on to minoxidil or Rogaine. Rogaine has been around forever. A lot of people take Rogaine. A lot of clients that I've had have taken Rogaine. And Rogaine, the way it works is, well, again, we don't really know the mechanism. A lot of these things we don't really know the mechanism, but it is proposed that there's a calcium channel, right? So each hair follicle in the scalp has channels. There's channels, right? There's calcium channels, potassium channels. There is sodium channels for action potentials. You know how spikes happen, like brain spikes. I study this in my neuroscience. If you want to know all this stuff, let me know and I'll teach you in another video. But what is proposed is that minoxidil, it could be 2 to 5% in Rogaine, it opens this potassium channel that allows for greater blood flow to the hair follicles. And that's how Rogaine helps to grow hair. Because of greater blood circulation, you get more oxygen to the hair follicles and your hair grows. Simple as that. Because a lot of the reasons why a lot of us have hair loss is because if you take stress on yourself, on your body, if you don't exercise enough, you're not allowing oxygen and blood to flow to your hair follicles, to your scalp. So of course you're going to get hair loss. And Rogaine is supposed to reverse that. And it works on a lot of people. And a lot of physicians actually nowadays are prescribing Rogaine with Propecia together. So you knock that hair problem in 2 ways. It's like taking testosterone replacement therapy and Viagra at the same time to cure your sexual dysfunction. Something like that. It's like a double, like a double trouble. You're gonna hit them 2 ways, right? At the same time. So you get the potassium channel opening through Rogaine, and then through Propecia you get the 5-alpha-2 reductase inhibiting. That's how these things work. I don't recommend either because the side effects are several. Let me get into some side effects. So with Rogaine, you can have redness, you can have itching. There's a lot of shedding that happens in the beginning. So for the first few months, you're gonna lose all your hair and then hair starts coming back because there's like this shedding phase with the hair follicles, and that's gonna happen with use of Rogaine. So be careful with that. Don't get too depressed if you use Rogaine and you lose all your hair. In the beginning, it'll come back after. I mean, for some people it doesn't come back, but that's rare. And of course with Propecia, there could be erectile dysfunction, there could be sexual dysfunction. But the thing is, and this is what some people don't understand, and we're gonna get into beard health now. The conversion of testosterone to DHT, it doesn't mean that if you're inhibiting DHT in the scalp, you're inhibiting DHT in the blood or like all over the body. No. Because DHT can do different things in different ways, in different parts of the body. So for example, in the hair, DHT is gonna make hair loss happen. In the beard, DHT actually helps hair growth. So it's the opposite. And DHT is also what helps in erections. when you get an erection, DHT is one of the molecules that is actually allowing the erection to happen and stay. And so some drugs, if you're taking like a pill format or if you're doing some sort of overall something that activates in your entire body in terms of inhibiting DHT production, then yes, you can have erectile dysfunction because now you're inhibiting DHT all over the body, in your blood. And again, there's all these factors, right? It's not just the production of testosterone into DHT, it's also how well DHT binds to the receptor, how many receptors do you have. There's a lot of factors involved in the biochemistry of these molecules, but I'm covering the general stuff here. So that's the truth of minoxidil, finasteride, Propecia, and all of these things. Now, I tried to be as clear as possible in this truth. If I wasn't, or there's something I'm missing, address that in the webinar with me. If you haven't registered for the webinar, do so ASAP. Pause this video right now, go to the link, click and register, enter your email so we have how many numbers, so we have how many people there are going to be for the webinar so we can prepare accordingly, fill out the form. What do you want me to address in the webinar? I want to cover everything when it has to do with hair health or how to get good boners and libido and sexual function and everything. So let us know. Next, I want to shatter a myth that you might believe in. So this is for someone who has a lot of hair. You might not realize how much of a factor hair plays into confidence. You may not realize it. Because I used to never know unless and until I became bald and experimented with that. A lot of men, and you might be one of them, would rather have great hair than be able to fuck well. Their hair health is more important than their sexual health. Actually, let me tell you about this one guy who's still my client, and he started way back in the day, like 3 years ago. So when he first came to me, his main issue was, he had a great beard, no problem with the beard, but he had an issue with hair thinning. Now, there are very few people like him because sometimes we have guys that have a bunch of issues, right? There's a problem with fat loss. He's like short, so he wants to somehow become taller, like hang from a tree type regimen. There's some guys who want to pick up girls, like they want a girlfriend, so we get a lot of clients like that. We get a lot of clients who have super confidence issues with their parents, like how to boost testosterone so you could be confident with your like superiors, like your teachers and your bosses. A lot of people have that issue, those issues. And of course, most people have sexual health issues, and sexual health is everything for them. Like they want to satisfy their wife, and they understand that everything starts from satisfying your wife or your girlfriend or your fuck buddy or whoever you're fucking at the time. And that's the philosophy I have. I feel that if you can fuck your girl and you are having sex every night and fucking her well, then all of her problems are gone and all of my problems are gone. Like there are no problems in life if you do that. That's my philosophy. I mean, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but it works for me. I don't really have any other things I give a shit about. If I fuck my girl well, that's all that matters, and she's happy, I'm happy, we go on in life, and one day we're gonna die, and that's it. It's good. The rest is like bonus and have fun, like make videos and shit. Now, this guy had a girlfriend, was fucking her, and he was genetically gifted. He could fuck really well. So he's like, bro, I don't give a fuck about my sex life. I don't give a fuck. He was good looking. He just had thinning hair. He had six pack. Like everything worked out in his life. But his confidence was shit because he was losing his hair. And his hair was everything to him. So I told him, all right, I'll tell you what. Go on Propecia. Go on minoxidil, Rogaine. Do both. And we're not going to change any of your diet, exercise, none of this. But you know what? Go get your blood test. I want to check for your thyroid. Because there's an entire crazy amount of research about how thyroid imbalances can affect hair growth and hair loss. So if you have hypothyroidism or hyperthyroidism, you could suffer from hair loss. And I told him to get that blood test done, and he did, and guess what? He had hyperthyroidism. So his physician, his endocrinologist, put him on a pill to solve the hyperthyroidism. And I have a cousin who also has thyroid issues. Like, it's not a big deal. You take medication and you kind of treat it. So he went on that medication, and I put him on Rogaine and Propecia, and his hair started becoming thicker. It worked. And I also gave him some aloe vera stuff. I told him all the stuff that I'm using for my hair care. I put him on 100 things, and he started getting thicker hair. Now, he didn't get like a full head of hair like mine or anything, but he started getting thicker, and he was happier, and his confidence was better, and he's still my client, so, it's working for him. And yeah, he never had sexual dysfunction. He did well, Rogaine, Finasteride, both. Yeah, and he's on his thyroid medication still, and he's going to be on it probably for a while. And that's the story I wanted to tell you about that. Let's go on to the next truth now. The next truth is a simple one. Will a lot of masturbation cause hair loss? No, of course not. Masturbation doesn't have to do with hair loss. I don't know where you got that idea. Now, the stress that you may be having because you're scared of the fact that masturbation will cause hair loss probably will cause hair loss. The other thing is the stress from the fact that you're not getting laid with a girl and you have to masturbate and probably losing focus in your everyday life and not getting anything done. The stress from that might cause hair loss. It's not the actual masturbation. Why? Now, there's a myth that the conversion from T to DHT obviously is the reason why masturbation is causing hair loss. No, let me shatter this a little bit. Okay, why do people believe that? So you masturbate and you ejaculate, right? Ejaculate 6 times a day, let's say. The ejaculation is causing testosterone to leave your body, because obviously ejaculate has testosterone in it, right? Your semen has testosterone in it. A little bit. But here's the thing. When you get an erection and you ejaculate, there is a conversion DHT, because you need DHT for the erection. So the theory is, oh shit, we're producing so much DHT, I'm going to go bald. No. The DHT you're producing down there, like in your blood and in your reproductive areas, is not the same as the DHT in your scalp. Like, they're not like directly linked. So that's a retarded argument. I don't know like why people believe that. But a lot of masturbation stress, the stress that is correlated with the masturbation, could cause hair loss. So don't be tricked that way. Now, I'm not saying masturbate 6 times a day and watch porn. Hell no, don't do that. Go watch the video on porn and masturbation. If you have any doubt about that, don't do that. So that's another truth that I wanted to tell you. Let's go on to the next one. Let me tell you what is true. It is not a beta male process or tactic to get a hair transplant. No. Elon Musk has a hair transplant. Okay? Like, this motherfucker was balding like crazy, like in his 20s. And now he has a great head of hair. You think he went on like some kind of diet? No, he got a hair transplant. He paid $50K. Daniel Negreanu, the famous poker player, he has a hair transplant. He probably paid 30, 40K or 50K. I don't know how much he paid. A lot of hair transplants for regular people cost $5,000 to $10,000. Like, movie actors get hair transplants all the time. So it's not a bad move. It's not like you're beta if you get a hair transplant. No, go get one. If you can afford a hair transplant, pay $5,000, $10,000, go get one, and look good and become confident if you can. Now, I don't know if it's going to actually work, because I don't know if you've read Psycho-Cybernetics by Maxwell Maltz, but in there he's a plastic surgeon, and he talked about this fact that a lot of women who would get breast transplants and ass transplants, they still had low self-esteem. It didn't like change their confidence just because their external body looked different, because the wiring was still the same. So, you can go get a hair transplant. I don't know if it's going to help, but give it a shot. And just telling you the truth here. That's the fact. The next truth I want to reveal is about the beard. Okay. So, and I'm going to get into my hair products soon, like what I've used for my hair and beard. So, beard is crazy amount just genetic. It's just that simple. I'm Pakistani motherfucker, come from the Indian subcontinent. It's easy for us to grow beards. If you're white, I'm sorry. You don't have the genetics, and you're probably never going to get a beard, and definitely not get a full one like this. There's no fucking way. Now you might be able to do some, put some aloe vera here, or some people even put Rogaine here. I don't recommend it, but you could try, and it does work for some people. And try to get, hair growth. You're supposed to use Propecia on the head, but you can put it here. Aloe vera has worked for a few of my clients, to grow a little bit of the beard. But it's mostly genetic. That's the truth. I have a beard because I was born that way. It's that simple. And in the past, if you feel that I've implied otherwise, I'm sorry. I apologize. That was wrong of me to do. I never wanted to convey that my beard was because of something I did. No, it's just genetic. And of course, it's a fucking nice beard. It's like really nice skin, nice hair, because I take care of myself. And I'm going to get into how I do that soon. But it's just because I'm born with it. That's the truth. Another truth is that, how does testosterone actually relate to beard growth? Well, testosterone's conversion to DHT is a reason for beard growth, right? So it's opposite effect. In the scalp, the T to DHT conversion, you lose hair. In the beard, the T to DHT conversion, you get hair. Okay, so the hair follicles that are in the beard are different mechanisms and different processes than the hair follicles that are in the scalp, okay? So a lot of people, they try to take chemicals and pills and put stuff on their beard that makes the conversion from T to DHT happen at a greater rate so they can get more hair here. Some methods work, some methods don't work. But what I would recommend for you, and I'm going to get into that soon, is things like aloe vera. Try to put aloe vera on your skin. I would not take pills and things that people suggest, because the scientific research on that is very scant. Scant meaning rare and like not enough, not conclusive. So I wouldn't trust any of that stuff when it comes to beard growth, to be honest. Now for the final truth, and then I'm going to get into the challenge for today. Here's the truth. As a man, you are not gay or homo or beta if you take care of your skin and your hair. Fuck those assholes in the media or some dumbass bodybuilder at the gym who says, oh, taking care of your hair and your skin is for pussies. Fuck no. I go to Whole Foods and I'm best friends when I go to New York or Toronto. The girl in the Whole Foods cosmetics department loves me. She follows me on Instagram and like comments on my photos, and I love her. And we are amazing friends. Every single skincare aisle or store that I go to, I become best friends with that girl or that guy there. Usually it's a girl. I really understand skincare and hair care. So for example, a cleanser for the face when you're taking a shower, a moisturizer for your face when you leave the house, a eye cream at night. It's called an evening cream to not get any any black stuff under your eyes. Having body wash for your skin, having natural plant-based shampoo, conditioner, hairspray, pomade or wax if you use. I use all of these things. And my hair looks amazing, my skin looks amazing. Yeah, a lot of it's genetic, a lot of it's my diet and my exercise and the fact that I don't have any stress and that I'm happy in life, but it's also the products that I use to take care of myself. These things are really important. So, this is the truth. Take care of your fucking body. Take care of your fucking skin and take care of your fucking hair. Now let me go down the list of things that I have used, and I'm also gonna post some photos so you can see what these things look like. Right now I'm using something called jojoba oil. I have it right now on my skin. I put it all over my face. Jojoba oil, it's a moisturizer. I put it on right after I shave. It's like an aftershave oil. And the reason I use it is because I want my skin is very sensitive, so I want it to stay moist. And that jojoba oil helps the skin stay moist. Now I've also used Avalon Organics. It's a great company. They have a cleanser and they have a moisturizer. And I've used both of those. I got those from Whole Foods in New York City, and those work well too. The cleanser that I'm using right now is known as Maria Ackerberg. That's the company. I got it from one of the health stores called Paradise here in Stockholm. It's like the Whole Foods, high-end store in Stockholm. And that is a cleanser that I'm using right now that I use during showering. What's a cleanser? You put it on your face after you damp your face with water, you put it on your face, and then you clean your face. And you don't want to use some fucking dumbass soap or some stupid liquid soap thing for your face. Your face is the most sensitive thing when it comes to skin. So you want to use a nice cleanser that is sensitive to your facial skin, okay? I So for exfoliant or scrub, I use something called a Cure. A Cure, they won some awards and stuff. It's a really good brand. And exfoliant is what opens up pores. So, you'll notice I have a little bit of redness here. It's because my skin is really sensitive. So I use this exfoliant, all around my face 3 times a week. And then after that, I shave. So I get the pores open, the skin becomes really nice and able to, irritate with my razor. And after that, I put the oil to moisturize. The oil I told you about, jojoba oil. The next thing I want to tell you about is hair care products. So for shampoo, conditioner, hairspray, pomade, wax, I use a company called Hans de Fuco. HANZDEFUKO, Hans de Fuco. I use everything of theirs. Everything is organic extracts. Everything is plant-based. It's wonderful, wonderful products. I have them right now in my hair, and I love them. So that's something I recommend for hair products. Also, John Masters, which is a little expensive as well, available at Whole Foods. It's not really good for long hair, but if you have short hair, John Masters works really well. Now, before the challenge, I want to just tell you something about confidence. In reality, all of us are on a journey, and I hope I get there one day. I don't want any of my confidence to be external. I don't want my confidence to be about money or my looks or my hair or my skin or my ability to speak well. None of that. It's all external. I want it to be more spiritual, more soul, more internal. And I'm going to work on that my whole life. And I want you to work on that too. Have your confidence become core. Have it become out of your love, out of what you were born with, not what society gave you or what you got from society. None of that shit. Let's work on that. Now for the challenge. Out of everything I told you, what is the one action you're going to perform when it comes to hair health? Maybe you're going to use a cleanser. Maybe you're going to stop blow drying your hair and start towel drying. Maybe you will apply one of the skin care products I told you about. Maybe you're going to change your diet a little bit. Maybe you're going to do a certain thing to allow blood flow into your scalp. Like maybe you're going to do a massage. I didn't get so much into massages, but you can do massages as well. Massages help really well. Maybe you're going to hang upside down at the gym and do a handstand so you can allow blood flow to the head because you're now upside down. Like, what are you going to do? What is the one step you're going to do based on this video that is for your hair? And the challenge is take a video of that or take a photo of that and post it on our Facebook group. We want to see proof of what you do with your hair, okay? That's the challenge for today. Do the challenge, register for the webinar. Down below, write down on the forum some feedback on this video. How did I do? What did I not cover? What was covered well? What do you want me to cover in the webinar? What do you want me to cover in a future video? Tell us all this stuff so we can know what I need to improve on and what I'm doing really well. And the last thing is tell all your friends about the testosterone truths. I can't stress this enough. Go tell your buddies, your family members, your uncles, your aunts, your teachers, everyone. Tell them. Every man needs to have the Testosterone Truths course, and I encourage you to tell everyone about it. That's it for this video. I'll see you tomorrow.